Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're doing a question and answer. I posted in the YouTube community tab and asked you what questions you might have for me, as well as on Instagram, and you guys gave me lots of great questions. I have my phone with me today, so if I'm looking down, I'm looking at the questions you guys asked me. There's a lot of really good ones that I'm excited to answer. Hopefully this is a great way for you to get to know me a little bit better, as well as you guys asked some questions that were actually about cleaning and organizing and productivity and those types of things that I absolutely love talking about. With all of that being said, I think we should jump into it because there are a ton of questions. One of the first questions was, how old are you? And I thought it was really sweet. They said, only if you're comfortable sharing. So I'm 29. I turn 30 in October. I was surprised. I got a lot of questions about how my husband and I met. So my husband's name is Jim, and the two of us met the first day of law school orientation. We both attended the University of Denver for law school, and we had lunch together the first day. I'm convinced that I saw him kind of in this sea of first-year law students and thought, this guy's cute, I want to have lunch next to him. But maybe I'm just misremembering that, but we did have lunch together the first day of orientation, and that's how we met. We were best friends at the beginning of law school, so we waited a bit before we started dating, but we were pretty much inseparable all through law school. Somebody else asked, where do you live? What kind of law do you practice? And what does your husband do for work? I still live in Denver, Colorado. I grew up in Minnesota, just west of Minneapolis, but came out to Denver for college and then stayed for law school, found a job here after school, and have been here ever since. So it's been like 11 or so years at this point. What type of law do I practice? So I practice corporate law and really like it. I do a lot with mergers and acquisitions and corporate real estate and corporate transactions. So a lot of reading contracts and things like that. Really enjoy doing that full time, but obviously I also love all things cleaning, organizing, productivity, and motivation, and that's why I started Sophisticated Organization. What does my husband do for work? He started at a small law firm right after law school. We actually did long distance for a little bit right after law school. He found his first job in Nebraska, where he's from. So we had to do long distance until he was able to find another job in Denver, and he does more consultant type work, a little bit on the tax side. So he's less so actually traditionally practicing law right now. Somebody asked when we plan to buy a house and when we plan to have children. We were looking at buying a house in March of 2020 because we got married in July of 2020, so we wanted to have a house to move into when we got married. But with everything going on in the world, we decided to pause the house search and see what happened with the market. Unfortunately, I feel like supply is even lower and demand is even higher than it was before, especially in Denver. I know that's a common issue in a lot of different places, but Denver, the housing market is just crazy. Even so, we hope to be able to purchase a home this summer because our lease ends and we were just going to rent this apartment for 1 year and then start up our house search again. So fingers crossed that works out for us. And I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with the next question of when we plan to have children. At this point, there's nothing holding either of us back from wanting to start our family. So when we have kids, it would be really nice to bring them back to a home. This apartment is relatively large, but I feel like if we're bringing a baby home, it would be nice to actually have a home, or I would have to convert my office into a nursery or something and deal with all of that. So we'd like to have kids soon and like to purchase a home soon. Somebody else asked what I plan to do when I have children and if I plan to continue to work. So I think that's a question that we'll just kind of have to wait and see. It all really depends on what's happening with my legal career, everything going on in Sophisticated Organization. You know, I love doing this and I love sharing all of these tips and connecting with you guys. It just really depends. I hope to have a career, whatever it is, whether it's legal or continuing with Sophisticated Organization, that's flexible, that lets me be home and spend time with my children and with my family. I grew up with a mom who ended up staying home. I think she stopped working when I was in 2nd grade, so my brother was probably in 5th grade. So she definitely worked when we were young children, but then decided to stay home. So I think we'll just have to kind of wait and see with that one. This next question was, how do you balance your career and side hustles? I know you don't have kids yet. but even before I had kids, I don't think I could keep up with all the things you do. To me, this really comes down to doing things that you're passionate about. Beyond having a full-time job as a corporate attorney and doing all of these sophisticated organization things, I have been coaching figure skating in the mornings before work for the past 3 years, I think at this point. This past year, with all of us staying home, I've been able to take some time off of that, which has probably given me more time to start a YouTube channel and really focus on my business of sophisticated organization. But again, if you feel like you are interested in starting a side hustle or you have multiple passions like I do, as long as they're things that you're passionate about, you're gonna find time to do them. And that's not to say that it's easy. Starting a YouTube channel is no joke. Working in corporate law, especially mergers and acquisitions, where the work really ebbs and flows. Sometimes it is extremely busy. It's late nights, it's weekends. Sometimes it's not as busy, but having those really demanding things on my plate, it can get super overwhelming. So staying organized and on top of it is really important, but I honestly don't mind when I finish up a day of my full-time job, sitting on the couch and recording a voiceover for a video that I just filmed, or working on new products for my website, or whatever it might be, because it's like a hobby to me. I truly enjoy it. Like I keep saying, if you find something that you love, it doesn't feel like work and you're gonna find time to do it. Have you always been organized, or did it happen later in life? I think I've always been organized and enjoyed organizing from a young age. I don't know if I've always been neat or clean when I was younger. I'm sure if my mom's watching this, she's thinking, Sophie never made her bed when she was younger. Her room was a disaster. But I've always really liked the order of organizing things. And I think that skill has developed as I've gotten older, and becoming neater and tidier and cleaner has for sure developed in the last, I don't know, 10 or so years. Maybe when I first left home and started college and really lived on my own and became accountable for those types of things. Even if you're not naturally born with being organized, neat, or tidy, or whatever the word is, it is a skill that you can learn. It's not like you're born with it or you're not. You can work on these skills and become better at them. Do you consider yourself a minimalist? No. I do not consider myself to be a minimalist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure if you've seen any of my YouTube videos where I'm organizing certain spaces of my home or giving you a tour, the spaces aren't necessarily super minimalistic. I do like to talk a lot about decluttering because I think that goes hand in hand with organizing, but I wouldn't say that I'm a minimalist. I have a lot of things. If you look in certain categories, I have a lot of makeup and skincare products. I have a lot of shoes and clothing. Definitely not a minimalist, but I do think it's important to focus in on decluttering and keeping things that you're using, things that make you happy, and things that have utility and spark joy. This question was so sweet. Besides your work, recording, and baking, which I love to do as well, what really makes your day full of bright smiles and laughter? Such a sweet question. And I would probably say there's a lot of things that I like to do and hobbies that I have. I love to exercise, although sometimes it takes a little more motivation to get me to the gym. I really like watching TV and movies. I guess that's maybe a hobby, maybe it isn't. I like hanging out with my friends, all of those basic types of things, but I love anything arts and crafts. I'm sure you can tell I've shared a few DIY gift videos here on YouTube. I actually wanted to be an elementary school art teacher when I was in high school. Took a crazy career path turn and went into law and made that switch when I was in late college. But I love all things arts and crafts. I love being creative. That type of stuff makes me really happy too. A few of you asked why I started my channel and what inspired me to start a YouTube channel. So I had my Instagram Sophisticated Organization for almost 3 years, I want to say, before I started my YouTube channel, and had been an avid YouTube watcher myself and kind of wanted to find a way that I could share a little bit more than I could on Instagram. Thought about starting a blog and all of that, but I'm not a great creative writer and I don't personally enjoy consuming that content as much as I do video content. So I took the leap and started a YouTube channel, which truly was a really big leap for me. I feel like I'm starting to get more comfortable on camera, but it's a learning process for sure. About a full year of my Instagram, or maybe even longer, I didn't utilize Instagram stories by ever talking to the camera because I was too nervous to do it. So truly, starting a YouTube channel was really out of my comfort zone, but I'm hoping you're enjoying it because I'm actually really loving it. And I feel like my only regret is that I wish I would have started doing this earlier. Another really nice question, how I learned to start a channel and make it look so professional. So first of all, thank you. I really appreciate that. I just jumped into it. I did start with a Canon camera, and my exact camera I have linked always in the description box below, and any of the other filming equipment that I use. But beyond that and like learning how to film, I really wanted to have my own filming style, but definitely took inspiration from others, thought about the things that I like in YouTube videos and tried to implement that into my videos, while again also coming up with my own creative style and process and making it uniquely me, uniquely sophisticated organization. But I also looked at videos on how to edit. I had used iMovie numerous times in the past. I feel like I'm pretty tech savvy, so it wasn't too difficult for me to pick up how to edit on iMovie, but that's not to say that I'm not still learning. And especially if you watch some of my older videos, and I'm saying older videos, but I haven't even been on YouTube for a full year, I have learned a lot. It's been tough getting some negative comments, especially as I'm learning. I hope that people can give me the benefit of the doubt as I'm continuing to learn how to edit, trying to figure out when I'm speeding things up, what the proper speed is. Background music has been really interesting. I definitely started off with background music being way too loud, especially when I was talking. It would be way too loud in certain videos and it's hard to hear my voiceover, or when it would switch from like a voiceover or me talking to the camera and then some B-roll type footage and music playing, like the sound would jump way too much. It's all a learning process. If it looks professional, thank you again. I had no idea what I was doing when I started, and I'm totally learning along the way. Another YouTube related question, and I feel like maybe some of these people are YouTubers themselves or people who want to start a YouTube channel, and they said, how do you plan out all of your content? Any tips and tricks to share? The way that I plan my content is what needs to be done in my house. So when I do sophisticated Saturday videos, like that's just me on a Saturday. It's my actual to-do list and I'm taking you guys around with me. Some of my other organizing or decluttering videos, they're places that I want to refresh in my actual space and organize and declutter. But then videos where I'm more sitting down and doing tips and tricks and that type of stuff, they're either just like from a long list of ideas that I have, because I have a never-ending list of ideas in my head, but a lot of the videos that I come up with are actually from questions and comments that I get on both YouTube and Instagram. So if you guys say, what do you do as your night routine? Like, I'm gonna film a video on that because you guys clearly want to know and want some tips around that. I draw inspiration from you guys as well as inspiration from my actual living space in my life. I guess going back to the previous question about how I balance my side hustle and YouTube with my full-time job and also talking about planning content, I plan things so far in advance. You guys know I'm obviously a planner, I'm organized. Planning them out as far in advance as possible really helps me to balance work and having a YouTube channel. That means filming in advance as well. So sometimes I film a video and it doesn't go out for like maybe even 3 weeks. That way, if I have a busier week and don't have enough time to film, I have videos stocked up and I can stick to my schedule because I made a commitment to myself that I was gonna post 2 times a week when I started this channel, and I've kept up with it. I attribute that to good planning and I guess just hustle. I had 2 of you ask about my nails. Somebody said, your nails always look so pretty. Do you do them yourself? And somebody also asked about my skincare and makeup routine. I guess let me know if you guys are interested in like a strictly beauty routine video. I've definitely filmed my nail routine a couple of times. I've filmed using my at-home gel kit because I use gel nails sometimes at home, but also regular polish at home. In a couple of my sophisticated Saturdays, I've filmed that. But if you want like a full dedicated beauty video, let me know. I don't know if that really fits in with what this audience wants, but if you guys want it, let me know and I can definitely think about filming something like that. Loving the random question. Somebody said, ever thought of going vegan? Really weird story, but my husband and I watched the documentary Forks Over Knives, and I think there was one other Netflix documentary around the same time. After that, we were like, wow, maybe going vegan is the right way to go. There can be a lot of health benefits. So we were vegan for 1 week. My husband kept making the joke. He kept saying how he was plant strong. And then by the end of the week, he said he was plant weak and he needed meat back in his life and we couldn't be vegan anymore. I think it wasn't that we didn't enjoy the food. Honestly, it was more work on myself. And I think if I stuck with it more, I would get more used to cooking vegan. But oh my gosh, if you don't cook vegan and then you make that switch, it takes a lot more time, a lot more thinking. Like having chicken breast and a veggie side, or we like salmon and a simple like Brussels sprouts or broccoli as a side. Like those meals are so easy, and I'm sure if you are a vegan, you have those staple meals in your head. Not being a vegan, it was a tough switch and way too much work in the kitchen for me. A couple more wedding and marriage related questions. Somebody said, would love to hear about how your wedding plans evolved due to COVID. And oh my gosh, I can't lie to you guys, this was really hard for me. Every woman and girl, I feel like at least a lot of them kind of dream about or at least picture what their wedding day is gonna look like. And having a global pandemic impact my wedding was never part of the plan, never part of my dreams or anything I thought of that would ever happen. It was tough watching the things leading up to the wedding. You know, I had to cancel my bachelorette party, I had to cancel the bridal shower. We had one with my family planned, one with my husband's family planned. So I'm still kind of sad that those things never happened. For the actual wedding itself, we started off really hopeful, but the closer and closer it got to July, I think it was starting to become obvious that whatever the wedding we were having was not going to be the wedding that we planned. That was supposed to be 300 guests. The thing that really got me through it was Jim and I decided from pretty much the very beginning that no matter what, the two of us were going to get married on July 18th, 2020. And if that was just the two of us, if it was our parents, whoever it could be, we were gonna get married no matter what. It was important for us to have those priorities straight. We were actually planning on doing a larger celebration on our 1-year anniversary and inviting all of those people that couldn't attend in July, because with the restrictions in Minneapolis where we got married in July, we had about 30 guests. So to go from 300 to 30 is completely different. Still, it's weird to say that the wedding was like everything I could have dreamed for it to be. It was just a smaller version of it. I wish I could have had some more of my cousins there, a few of my friends there that I would have loved to share that special day with. In the end, like I got to marry Jim, the person that I wanted to marry, and it was beautiful and special and a day I'll remember forever and still the happiest day of my life. Even though it wasn't what we planned, I'm happy we made the decision to get married, and I think we're still kind of reevaluating what the celebration is going to look like July 2021. It's still looking like the world isn't quite back to normal, so that might not end up happening either, which I'm honestly fine with. I'm married and happy, so if the party doesn't happen, it's not the worst thing in the world. The other marriage question was, what is your favorite part of being married so far? And it feels really obvious, but I think my favorite part has just been having a life partner to share the highs and lows with. We have had some really great highs since we've been married. We've had some really low lows. I know a lot of people share that their first year of marriage, there's always something that just kind of like rocks your world in the first year. And I think I'll probably end up sharing a little bit more about that in the future when I'm kind of ready to do that. I like having somebody to share those life moments with. I think it's really nice. The two of us didn't live together before we were married. I did like living alone, but I even more so enjoy living with my husband and having somebody always around. There's always somebody to do things with. And I don't know, I'm just excited to go through life together and see where things take us. So I'm just scrolling through here, and I think I hit upon most of the questions, if not all of them. I feel like I've been filming for a while and I don't want this video to be too long. I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I may end up filming a part 2 or another question and answer video in the future, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. I'm sure you can tell from the video that I'm loving YouTube, and I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed, when you like videos, when you comment, even just when you watch them. It really means a lot to me, and I hope to continue to share more with you. So until next time, I will see you guys later.